Before I answer this question, I want you to do a deep dive approach and look and see if this is your supervisor or if it's you that's preventing you from getting the promotion. That's an internal question that only you can answer. However, let's take for example that it is your supervisor. What are some things you can do? Nothing beats a solid conversation. You'll be surprised though how many supervisors are intimidated by individuals whom report to them. They are jealous, they feel like they're coming after their job, they don't trust them. This leads to a conversation to clear the air, and that's what I suggest you do. Your supervisor needs to understand that you support him or her, that you want to grow, but at the same time you recognize and understand their vision, and you want to support them in implementing that vision. It also gives you an opportunity to know what you're doing well, what you're not doing well, and what you can build on in order to get to that next professional step. The other thing you have to do is recognize your supervisor's work language. Now, we've all read or heard of the 5 love languages about our partners, and I'm kind of sort of talking about that, but not really. But it's important for you to recognize the work language of your supervisor so that you recognize the work environment that they best do well in. Do they work well under pressure? Do they work well in a team? Do they work well when they recognize deadlines? Do they trust? Understanding that only happens by having a conversation, which is what I suggest you do with your supervisor after having an internal look at yourself. You know, I don't know if I could really nail it down to one big challenge that leaders face today, but I know the top 3, being equity, politics, and staying focused. Understand that our country is changing, and making sure that individuals are treated fairly and that your organization really leads with an equity lens. A leader has to understand the challenges that exist in implementing that agenda, because pushback and roadblocks will happen. Understanding politics. Every organization has politics, regardless of the industry you're in. And leaders have to recognize the political environment that they're in and change accordingly, adjust accordingly, and make sure that they're using certain things to their advantage to move that agenda forward. And last but not least, with so much noise in the air, leaders have to stay focused. And I cannot emphasize that enough. There's so many things that will come at a leader because they are managing and they're leading. And if they don't stay focused on what that strategic plan is, what those goals are, and what are those key performance indicators to drive success, they will lose their way to make sure their organization is successful. So equity, politics, and definitely staying focused are challenges leaders face today.